I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will understand how to solve a quartic polynomial equation. Consider a polynomial 4x to the power of 4 minus 8x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x plus 2 equal to 0. Now at times you will be just given a polynomial and this equal to 0 will not be there. When we say solve polynomial equation, it means you have to equate it to 0, right? So that may not be there. Remember that part also. So even if it is not there, you're trying to make the equation 0. That is the meaning of solve polynomial equation, correct? Now, how to find the values of x which can give us a 0? So we can use the rational theorem. Some people call integral theorem. So basically we are looking for a factor in the form of ax minus b, right? Now this factor can be 0 if x is equals to b over a, right? So we are trying to find possible values of b over a, which we get by the factors of constant and the leading coefficient, right? So these are the possible values which can help us find the answer, correct? So we should always begin by writing down the possible numbers which could give us, or possible values of b over a which could give us a 0, right? So the possible factors are, so we can write possible values of b over a are first factors of 2, which are plus minus 1 and plus minus 2, and then factors of 2 divided by factors of 4. Well, when we say this, we have divided them by 1, correct? Now let's divide them by other factors of 4, like 2 and 4. So when I divide by 2, I get plus minus half. 2 divided by 2 is 1, which is already considered. Now let me divide these by 4. So I get plus minus 1 over 4. And then 2 over 4 is half, which we have already covered. So these are all the values which we could try and get our answer. So let's begin with the first one, which is p of 1. So let's write the value of the function at 1. That really means you have to substitute x as 1. So we get 4, 1 to the power of 4. Let me write 1 to the power of 4. Minus 8, 1 cube. Minus 3, 1 square. Plus 5 times 1 plus 2, right? You should use a calculator to do all this, but I don't have one today. So I'm just doing rough calculations here. So what we get here is 4 minus 8 minus 3 plus 1 plus 2. Let's add the positive terms. 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11. And negative terms, minus 8 minus 3 is 11. 11 minus 11 is 0. So we are fortunate to get 0 in the very first try. But that's kind of rare. Now once you get this 0, it really means that the factor is x minus 1. So that is one of the factors of this polynomial. If I substitute 1 here, I'll get a 0. So that is a part of our solution. Okay, but this also helps us to write this polynomial as a factor of linear factor and a cubic factor. The other one we can get by long division, or we can do synthetic division. Okay, so let me do synthetic division here because I'm running out of space most of the time. So we'll do synthetic division, and we are expecting remainder to be 0, right? Since x minus 1 is a factor, so we'll divide by 1 and we'll write down all these coefficients. None of the coefficient is missing, so we don't have to introduce a placeholder, right? So we have 4 minus 8 minus 3 plus 5 and 2. So we bring down 4 here, so we'll use another ink, maybe good, right? So bring down 4, multiply by 1, you get 4, add them up, minus 4, multiply, minus 4, add them up, minus 7, bring it there, minus 7, add them up, you get minus 2 times minus 2, 0. Perfect. So we got a 0, and these are the coefficients of a cubic function, correct? So these are coefficients of cubic function, which we'll write with the coefficients as 4x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x minus 2. So we got one more factor now. Let me call this another polynomial. So we know this is x minus 1 times all this. Now the exercise is repeated. we'll again try to figure out what are the possible values which can give us 0 now. So still you see 2 and 4 kind of similar. So we are left with the same options. Let's try the next number. Okay, so let's try the next number and we'll try p of 2 now. So we have 4 times 2 cube, which is 8, minus 4 times 2 square, which is 4, minus 7 times 2, minus 2. So we can multiply these numbers and see what do we get. 4 times 8 is 32, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 4 is 16, and here we have minus 14 and minus 2. Okay, let's add the positive numbers and the negative numbers. Okay, so positive numbers is 32, negative is 16, 14, that means 30 and 2. Great job. So that is also 0. You know that there's something good about not working with calculators. You get easy questions to work with. So p of 2 is 0. That means what? That means we got the second factor, and this one is x minus 2, correct? So if I do synthetic division again, I'll again get a remainder, and then I will know exactly what the quadratic equation is, and we can solve the quadratic equation since we know a lot of factoring techniques to solve it. This time let me use the long division method to solve. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do long division this time. We have a cubic equation which is here 4x cubed, and we are dividing it by 2. Perfect. Rather the factor x minus 2 this time. Yeah, I forgot. We'll do long divisions. We'll write x minus 2 here, and the equation 4x cubed minus 4x square minus 7x minus 2. Okay, x minus 2 will take the two terms, x4 and x square, correct? So we get 4x cubed minus 4 times 2 is 8 x square. So when you take away, what do you get? You get plus 4x square. Bring down minus 7x. You have to multiply by 4x now. So plus 4x, okay. So that will give us 4x square minus 8x, okay. And what do we get? When we take away this, we get x minus 2, which goes 1 times. So plus 1. Perfect. So that is the quadratic factor, and we have another factor here. So I think let me summarize by writing the polynomial here. So our polynomial which we are trying to write is, first we got x minus 1, we shouldn't forget about that, and then we got x minus 2 right there, x minus 2, and when we divide by x minus 2 we got this quadratic function here, which is 4x square plus 4x plus 1. So we have all this, correct? So at this stage we need to factor the quadratic equation. We can do it by sum and product, we can do it by quadratic equation. We have many options, right? Sum and product, 4 times 1 is 4, and we are looking for sum of 4, which is 2 times 2, right? So that works, 2 times 2 works, correct? So we can factor this. So let's do that part, or we can use quadratic formula also. But I think we can use 2 times 2 here, correct? So we will factor 4x square this time. So we have 4x square plus 4x plus 1, and we figure out that the magic numbers are 2 and 2. So we have 4x square plus 2x plus 2x plus 1. When we combine these two, 2x is common. So we have 2x plus 1, and we already have plus 2x plus 1 here. So we can take 2x plus 1 common, right? And we are left with 2x plus 1. Okay, so it is basically 2x plus 1 whole square, which I could have written here directly, correct? 1 square is 1, and 2x whole square is 4x square, 2 times this. Good job. So we have this as x minus 1 times x minus 2 times 2x plus 1 whole square, right? So that is how we can factor our polynomial, correct? So well, we have learned different techniques of factoring. You could have used quadratic formula also, or trinomial, perfect square. You could have done that also. So basically the question was, solve quadratic polynomial equation. We started with polynomial 4x 4 degree Quartic equation, and we need to find solution. What we really found is that this standard equation can be written in factored form, which is x minus 1 times x minus 2 times 2x plus 1 whole square, and solving means equating it to 0. So now it's an easy part. So if you are given a factored form, we don't have to do all this, but if not, we have to do all this to get to this stage. At this stage, we need to find solution. So 0 multiplied by anything is 0. So x minus 1, try to find all the solutions. Let's begin with the first factor. We'll say x minus 1 equals to 0. That means x is equals to 1, right? Then we do x minus 2 equals to 0. That means x equals to 2. Then we do 2x plus 1 equals to 0. That means x equals to minus 1 over 2. So we have three solutions. Do you understand? This is the double root. Both are at minus half, correct? So we can clearly write down our answer now. Our answer is x is equals to 1, 2 and minus half, correct? So I hope with this you understand how to solve a polynomial equation. I have purposely taken a very simple example. The idea is not to impress you, but to tell you a method of doing things, right? At times the numbers can be very complicated. You may have to try it a couple of times before getting the first 0 itself, right? But don't get disheartened, keep trying. So that is the whole I can tell about it. But follow the method. You'll definitely get the answer quickly. Thank you and all the best. Don't forget to subscribe to my videos. I'm Anil Kumar and thank you once again.